with some of our warm-up exercises. For shaking the tree, we're going to let go of anything that's not useful for the body or the mind. We're going to just release whatever we need to. Meanwhile, we're standing on our bubbling well points on the bottoms of the feet, so we're activating those as well. So we can both shake off what we need to. We can also let anything drop down through the bubbling well point into Mother Earth to be composted into something new and healing. At the same time, we can absorb up through the bubbling well point the golden healing earth chi of health, wealth, and longevity. And, we'll just shake for a couple of minutes, but it's said that for anyone with any kind of a chronic illness, you can shake for up to an hour a day, but that sounds like a bit much, so we won't go that long because that's our whole class time. But feel free to shake whenever you need to. In Chinese medicine, we say you have to let go of an excess before you can tonify a deficiency. So we want to shake off any excess energy, and then we can tonify our bodies in a few moments here. Wonderful. Okay, good. And now we're going to start with, and I'll turn around to show you, we're just going to swing our arms with our hips. And as we do, we start to do tapping on or knocking on the door of life. Of course, the door of life is the Míng area, the kidneys, and we want to stimulate kidney energy because kidneys are the organs that keep our vitality. So we want to strengthen our vitality and knock on the door of life. Beautiful. And again, this comes from the hips. It originates from the hips. Beautiful. And we'll do a few more. Whatever amount of pressure feels good to you. And then we're going to try something different. We're going to tap on the back body, but also on the lung channel. Right here under the collarbone, we have lung 2 and then lung 1, and we're going to stimulate healing the lungs and supporting our respiratory system by doing this. And you can also at the same time hit on the kidney, so we're taking care of 2 systems of the body right now. Beautiful. And next, another immunity one. So on the bone right here is the thymus gland, just behind it. We're going to tap on the thymus gland good to stimulate the immune system. Tapping on the thymus. Beautiful. This helps to create more killer T cells as we stimulate the thymus gland. Beautiful. And similarly, we're going to start to go ahead and stimulate the flow of chi through the body by tapping on the back of the arm a few times and then turning the arm over, helping circulation, chi flow, oxygenation to the extremities. Beautiful. And the other side. Excellent. And then turning that over. Beautiful. And then going down the front of the body, down the front of the legs, up and down the front of the legs. And up and down the backs of the legs. And then both the inside and the outside of one leg. And the inside and the outside of the other leg. And then coming up gently, tapping the low back, and then maybe over the shoulder. Good, beautiful, excellent. And anywhere you feel like you haven't quite reached to move chi flow, excellent. Now we're gonna go to spinal cord breathing. That is when we step out with our left foot, tip the pelvis back, open the chest with an inhalation of the golden healing earth chi. Exhale, cloudy gray. Release anything you need to Mother Earth to be composted. Again, nice deep breath in. Breathing in the golden healing earth chi. Exhaling cloudy gray. Anything that needs to be released from the body. We're going to do this a few more times. Nice breath in. Stepping on that bubbling well point. That golden healing earth energy. And exhale, cloudy gray. Any sound that comes out is just great. 3 more times. Nice breath in. That pelvis tips back, shoulders open up, and exhale. Twice more. Nice. Breathe in. Golden healing, smiling earth chi. And exhaling. And a nice deep breath in. Beautiful. And exhaling, quiet and gray. Anything you need to release. Beautiful. And now we're going to try ocean breathing. And so we'll give you a little visualization. You can stay the direction. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. So ocean breathing is, we're in the tropics in a very safe and cozy little cove in the ocean. And maybe we're up to our waist. And the nice warm water is rushing in and rushing out, just gently swaying our bodies. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a deep breath in and lean forward onto the toes, and then a breath out and lean back onto the heels. Beautiful. And allow this wave, nice breath in, just being swayed gently, calmly, soothingly by the nice warm ocean water, and an exhale going back. And this is wonderful, of course, for balance, but just take it at your own pace, everybody. Beautiful. And back. Beautiful. We'll do a few more of those. Nice breath in. And exhale. And a nice breath in. And exhale. Beautiful. And then feel free to have a seat. Now we're going to do our crane neck and our turtleneck. I'll just turn so you can see, but you can stay in the same direction there. So crane neck, and remember Master Chi says you are as young as your spine is flexible. So crane neck, take a deep breath in, reach with your chin all the way out, and then you're going to turn the chin under and come up with the exhale. So again, nice breath in, golden healing earth energy in. Keep our spines really flexible, and exhale as you turn the chin to chest here. Beautiful. Another time. Ah, feels so good to stretch, and exhale. And we'll go 3 more times with the crane neck. Reaching with the chin, exhaling. And twice more, nice breath in. Keeping that spine nice and flexible, so we keep that cerebrospinal fluid moving nicely from the sacrum to the brain and back again. One more time, nice breath in. And now we're going to do what's called turtleneck. It is the reverse. We start with an exhale, releasing anything unneeded or unwanted, and then up with the inhale. Beautiful. And an exhale. Any sound that feels like you'd like to release it. And breathing in the golden healing, smiling earth chi, health, wealth, longevity. Exhale. Anything you want to release. And coming up. Breathing in golden healing earth chi 2 more times. Exhale, cloudy gray. And a nice deep breath in. And exhale, cloudy gray. Oh, okay, beautiful. And let's stand up another time, because I want to do the shoulder circles now. So this one is that we take a nice breath in with on one side, so whatever arm wants to come up, and then we exhale with the other side. So these are full commitment inhales and full commitment exhales. Stretching, stretching, stretching into those shoulders and keeping them, the joints supple. Nice inhale. Ah, beautiful. And exhale. And inhale. Ah, and exhale. Now let's reverse direction. That same arm that just exhaled forward, and we'll go forward with that other one. Three more times. Beautiful. And then we're going to go right to shoulder, feet shoulder width apart, hip circles. Hip circles just one direction. Doesn't have to be full range of motion, whatever is comfortable for your body. We'll go 3 more times that same direction. And then we're going to turn and change to the opposite direction with hip circles. Remember how we talked last time, how the body is a mirror image of itself. So I could say that this is a head, and this is my neck, and this is my upper back. So to actually heal the neck, any strain in the neck, you can actually rotate your, I even don't know what they're called anymore, ankles, neck, I don't know, it all looks the same to me, but your wrists. So we're going to rotate our wrists one direction for about 6 times, and then rotate the other direction for about 6 times, keeping the fluid in the joints activated. And then we're going to do the same thing. Feet are a little closer to the shoulder with rotating the knees. Again, activating the fluid in the knees to keep things healthy in there. Beautiful. One direction. Excellent. And then reverse direction. Beautiful. And a lot of times I will have people come in for acupuncture and they said that they have a stiff neck, and I'll see their ankles barely move. So we want to move the ankle just like the wrist, keep that fluid and moving so that we get the benefit in the neck area. Beautiful. And go to the other side. Beautiful. One direction and the other. Excellent. And then we can take a seat when you're ready. So the other day, I was trying to get some rest. I was in the middle of the night, and I woke up and I started thinking. And I said, wait a minute, you can't do that. You always have to practice what you preach. You don't start thinking in the middle of the night. No thought in the middle of the night is worthwhile, because our minds always stretch and expand and twist and contort things in the middle of the night. It's just not a good time. One of my favorite spiritual teachers, I may have shared with you, Eckhart Tolle, would say things like, oh yeah, I woke up and then, I lost my job in my imagination, and I lost my mortgage, and then living on the street and everything. And he says, I look at the clock, it's 3 a.m. Those are the kinds of thoughts we have at 3 a.m. So the truth is, no thoughts are allowed at night. So we've talked about just clearing the mind, emptying the mind. And then I thought, what I experienced that night, is it took a little while to do this, was that we need a practice for this. And so what I did is I bathed my entire body in white light. White light, if someone is not feeling or doing well, whether it's you or someone else, you can send either to your own body or someone else's body white light. White light is a very generic healing color, and because it was the middle of the night and I don't want to think through my types of light, I just said white light, and I filled my body and my cells and my organs with white light, and I did, lo and behold, fall back to sleep. So that was really lovely. But then I was a little bit joking with myself, saying, Deb, if you can't practice what you preach, then you probably shouldn't be teaching. So it made me realize something, and it made me realize that, so I joked with myself a little bit, and I thought, wait a minute, we haven't yet in class done laughing Qigong. And so laughing Qigong is so good for the brain, it's so good for serotonin, it's so good for endorphins, and it's said that Norman Cousins, a person from a while back, healed his body of a really incurable illness by laughing. So I've taught laughing Qigong before, so I want to do a little bit of laughing Qigong now. And the nice thing about laughing is that once we get started, it kind of, and we don't have to really be laughing at much of anything, but I started laughing that night, and I realized it's time to do laughing Qigong in class. So I dug out some very old jokes that I remember chuckling at a while back. It's hard to find a good joke. But these were jokes that apparently, this was back in the, I think, 70s or 80s, Air France put out a bulletin that what's an idiom? What does that mean, Rebecca? An idiom?
It's a
saying.
phrase in one language, like pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Oh, okay, so that's an idiom.
People in another country don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Exactly. So the title of this article was that people can try to speak another language, but they don't know the idioms.
Yeah.
And so something of that nature. So I'm not going to share them all today, but allow yourself to kind of let go and see what it feels like to laugh. They may not be that funny. They may be more, some may be more funny than the other. So I want to share with you some of my favorites that I remember, because we forget to laugh. And that night I was able to chuckle at myself, and I realized, yes, it's time for laughing Qigong, okay? So from around the world, in a Tokyo hotel, it's forbidden to steal hotel towels, please. If you are not a person to do such a thing, please do not read this notice. Okay, in a Bucharest hotel lobby, the lift is being fixed for the next day. During that time, we regret that you will be unbearable. In a Belgrade hotel elevator, to move the cabin, push button for wishing floor. If the cabin should enter more persons, each one should press a number of wishing floor. Driving is then going alphabetically by national order. Okay. In a Paris hotel elevator, please leave your valuables at the front desk. In an Athens hotel, visitors are expected to complain daily at the office between the hours of 9 and 11 each day.
That's hilarious.
In the lobby of a Moscow hotel across from the Russian Orthodox monastery, you're welcome to visit the cemetery where famous Russian and Soviet composers, artists, and writers are buried daily except Thursday. Okay, in an Austrian hotel, not to perambulate the corridors in the hours of repose in the boots of ascension. Those are sophisticated words for not saying, don't wear your ski boots in the lobby. On the menu of a Swiss restaurant, I love this one, our wines leave you nothing to hope for. On the menu of a Polish hotel, oh my gosh, this one's crazy. Salad of firm's own make. Limpid red beet soup with cheesy dumplings in the form of a finger. A roast duck let loose, beef rashers beaten up in the country's people's fashion. I think they meant free range when they said let loose.
Rashers?
I don't know. Let me read that word.
Rashers.
Beef rashers. I don't know what it is, but
I think that's
yeah.
like shredded beef.
Is it?
Like in England they say rashers.
Oh, they do. Okay,
Yeah.
that's funny. We'll do a few more. Outside a Hong Kong tailor shop, ladies may have a fit upstairs. Okay, I've got a few more here.
Let's go have a fit.
I know. Here's a good one. In a Bangkok dry cleaners, drop your trousers here for best results. In a Rhodes tailor shop, oh my God, order your summer suit because it's big rush. We will execute customers in strict rotation. This is a good one. A sign posted in Germany's Black Forest. It is strictly forbidden on our Black Forest camping site that people of different sex, for instance, men and women, live together in one tent unless they're married with each other for that purpose. Honey, would you like to get married so we can sleep in a tent? Okay, a few more. Because in a Zurich hotel, because of the impropriety of entertaining guests of the opposite sex in the bedroom, it suggested the lobby be used for that purpose. In an advertisement by a Hong Kong dentist, teeth extracted by the latest Methodists. Okay, 3 more. Oh, I love the last one. In a Rome laundry, ladies, leave your clothes here and spend the afternoon having a good time. Advertisement for donkey rides in Thailand. Would you like to ride on your own ass? In a Swiss mountain inn, special today, no ice cream. Anyhow, I wanted to share that with you because we forget, me included, we're so serious all the time that I realized that I'm going to ask, and not everybody's here today. I got a few emails that people are out of town for various reasons, but I want people maybe to look for a joke like this or different, because the laughter is good. So your homework is, you don't have to do it next week, but have a joke ready for some time over the next several weeks, just so we can kind of keep the laughter going. And your homework is to laugh, whether it's watching a funny video or activate that healing energy of laughter. It really goes a long way. Wonderful. Okay, so we're going to do some of our microcosmic orbit, and then we'll do some 6 healing sounds. But before we do, I want to just generally review light, so you know how generally light works. As I mentioned, white light, and I did it in black so you wouldn't be able to see if I wrote in white. So white is a purifying light. And when I was having all these thoughts in the middle of the night and I should just be resting, I just sent the purity to my body and I was able to fall back to sleep. So white is a purifying light. Violet light, as I mentioned, comes from the universe. It comes, and the Taoists knew that the universe was made of violet light before the scientists did. So violet light is the light of wisdom and the light of purpose. So sometimes when I lose direction and I can't figure out if I want to do one thing or another thing, I'll give you an example from my life. So there was an office that became available in Florence, Oregon. And I thought, well, I'm only in Eugene Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays now. I could work there Thursday and Friday. And I wasn't sure quite how to handle that. I decided to just sit in meditation and feel the violet light pour down on me. And ultimately, I decided that it would be too much for me. So I'm really glad I made that decision. But often we need direction and we need wisdom. And so tapping into the violet light of the universe is a wonderful thing to do.
Debbie,
Yes.
A question, please.
Yes,
When you tap into it, do you do that by breathing in, by putting your hands on your Dān Tián, or?
That's a great way, Rebecca. Let's try it. So sitting maybe on the edge of your chair, feet shoulder width apart, bubbling well points open. Yes, you can rub your hands warm. Place them on the Dān Tián, an inch or so below the umbilicus. And then almost as if you're breathing in the stars in the sky, breathe in to the Dān Tián, the violet healing light. Exhale, clear to great. Anything you need to let go of. I tend to allow the inhale to be a shorter, a complete, but a vacuum breath. So, and then the exhale tends to be longer and slower. Exhale and cloud to great. Anything you need to let go of. Releasing that to the earth. And in essence, I allow, let's do it another time. Breathing in the stars, the violet light to fill my whole vessel of my body. And then I will just sit there and breathe calmly at that point in meditation, feeling myself surrounded by the violet light. And what happened to me after many years is as I'm closing my eyes, sometimes I'll actually start to see the violet light. That took a while, but sometimes I'll see violet light. And when I do, I know that I have the answer of whatever I'm seeking. So that's a great way to do it with your hands on the Dān Tián. Wonderful. Other kinds of light. So I put it in orange so you can see it a little better. But yellow light, the earth light, the light of digestion, transformation, and transportation of food. So sometimes if I have difficulty digesting, whether physically or an idea, I'm having trouble understanding or digesting an idea or getting adjusted to a thought. Then I'll bring, often the way I'll do this one is we've done this before, clap your hands, rub your hands vigorously, and then we're going to create that chi ball, that golden healing earth chi ball. So one hand under the umbilicus and the other hand over that hand. Remember, you have that golden healing earth chi ball spinning in the Dān Tián area. And just breathing into that golden healing earth chi ball, you can allow the golden healing earth energy come up through the bubbling well points to the feet and to join in that golden healing earth ball. So if I'm having any trouble with digestion of ideas or physical digestion, then I'll allow that chi ball to spin to help revitalize myself. Green is, of course, associated with the liver organ, we know. And so that's very cleansing. So say I was exposed to, I don't know, I'm going to say a pesticide, for example, and I want to do a cleanse. I'm going to sit with both feet on the ground. Again, bubbly well points open. And I'm actually going to rub my liver. And I'll close my eyes and I'll visualize my liver in a healing green light to detox the body. And then I really, if I feel like, gee, that pesticide maybe is irritating my spleen, then I'll move the green light or expand the green light to go over to the other side of my abdomen. Or maybe I'll fill my whole body with a cooling green light to detox the body. Beautiful. And then we have a red light, which is warming and activating. Say my toes are very cold at night and I want to warm everything up, or my hands are chilly, or some people have that Raynaud syndrome and that the circulation doesn't go all the way to the extremities. Go ahead and wherever you are, close your eyes and maybe conjure the energy of the heart. In fact, we could rub our hands more and hover over the heart. Smile to the heart and thank the heart for its energy of circulation, moving chi and blood all through my body. And then visualize that red light. You could even circle around the heart because remember, the red light can multiply. So I'm circling the heart. And now the red light's starting to migrate to every single part of my body, reaching my fingers and my toes, expansive, warming, circulating, moving. Beautiful. Excellent. Yes.
Did we talk about the kidneys?
Did we talk about the kidneys? Kidneys were, did I forget the kidneys? Oh, thank you very much.
I was wondering.
Kidneys are blue light. And yeah, thank you for pointing that out, Sita. And so kidneys are blue light. So kidneys are going to be cooling. Maybe we have the opposite. Maybe our fingers and toes aren't cold. Maybe we feel overheated. Maybe it's a very warm day and maybe we're in India and there's no air conditioning. And so we want to cool the body. So a nice way to do that is hover over the kidneys, sending them the blue cooling light, and then allow the light, the blue healing cooling light, to spread throughout the body, to go everywhere from the tips of the toes to the top of the head, to the fingertips, to cool everywhere. Just breathing in that blue healing light. Wonderful. Thank you for pointing that out. And again, if you're sending healing light to someone and you're not sure what they need, you can always send them a white light. If you know they have a kidney issue or a digestion issue or a heart or a liver of course would be gallbladder issue, then you could send them the particular light they need, any particular color that they need. So, but if you're not sure, again, white light is a wonderful light to send. We're going to return to our microcosmic orbit that we started last week. And the microcosmic orbit, as you may remember, starts 1 inch below the belly button deep in the Dān Tián. And then it circulates down and almost like a you told me the word last week, not a Ferris
Roller
wheel,
coaster.
roller coaster. I don't know why I can't remember that word, roller coaster. I never really liked them. They were always a little too fast. Maybe that's why I blocked it. It kind of chugs up almost with an inhale. And then the roller coaster comes to the top and then it drops down. And we always start and end in the umbilicus. The reason is it's a very grounding place to be. There were some forms of yoga where, and I don't know yoga as well as some people, but where they bring the energy to the head. And that's actually dangerous, and it can cause heart problems. It can also cause mental problems. So it's very important to start and end in the Dān Tián. And I hope I didn't introduce this in too sophisticated of a way last time, introducing all of the areas, but we'll go through it again so it starts to become effortless. In the meantime, you can start to feel your microcosmic orbit just moving down to this genital area, up the spine, up and over the head, and then back down to the Dān Tián. That would be one. So you don't have to remember every single point at this spot. But it's almost like, I'm trying to think of an analogy. Say you were going to be in a running race, and you know, you're maybe normally a jogger. You want to get yourself in really good shape so your running style is really solid. So too, you want, the microcosmic orbit is theoretically always running, but it might be a little bit wobbly or not quite accurate. We really want to use our mind, eye, heart power, our E power, to really get it working efficiently, because then it gives us energy, okay? So we're going to spend today and another at least 1 or 2 times reviewing the microcosmic orbit. If you have any questions at all, feel free to let me know. But again, I'm going to run through some of the areas and acupoints, and they may be new for some people, but I'll try to be very specific. So rub your hands warm. We're going to place our hands on our Dān Tián, feet shoulder width apart, sitting comfortably on your chair. And then the first place that this starts is right behind your hands. And we're going to take our golden healing earth ball and shrink it down to the size of a pearl. So now you have a golden healing pearl right in your Dān Tián. And then because of gravity, it can easily drop down to right on top of your pubic bone. And then it can drop down to what's called your Hui Yin, which is your perineum. So right between the genitals and the anus is the Hui Yin. And we'll talk about this part of the body more in the future. Then it goes up. We're going to start to climb that roller coaster. It goes up to the tip of the coccyx with an inhale. And then inhale it, and I'm going to show you on here to your lower sacral area. Right here. Inhale it to your lower sacral area. Beautiful. And then inhale that to the mid-back. It's in line with T11 for anybody who may know anatomy, thoracic 11. And then we're going to go to C7, which is that really big bump that sticks out where the head and the neck and the body meet. There's a big bump you can feel for if you want. That bump area. Good. And then we're going to go to what's called jade pillow. So it's just at the base of the cranial area. And then we go to that external occipital protuberance, which is a bump that sticks out right here. EOP. Beautiful. External occipital protuberance. Then we bring the qi and the pearl over to the very top of the head, Da Zhui, the very top, do 20. Now we have to make sure to touch our tongue to the roof of the mouth. And that is how we connect the Do and the Rèn channel. Now allow this to kind of cascade over the head and drop in the depression right between the nose and the top lip. Beautiful. And now we're going to go to the center of the suprasternal fossa, which is right here on the neck. This fossa right here, dropping down, beautiful. And then we will allow it to go to Rèn 17, which theoretically is between the 2 nipples. and then drop down to Rèn 12, which is between the belly button and the xiphoid process. And the xiphoid process is where the ribs come together. And then back down to the Dān Tián. Beautiful. So that was one circulation. And again, at first, it's almost like learning to drive. It's like, oh, I'm a little timid about going from here to there. But eventually, before you know it, that teenager's flying around. And so will you on your microcosmic orbit at whatever pace feels right to you. So in a few moments, we will start that again. Does anybody have any questions about location? Yes, Sita.
So is the sacrum, you're talking about the top of the sacrum? The sacrum
Let me think if I have any notes here of how to explain the sacrum.
I think you said the top of the sacrum, but I wasn't sure what you meant by that.
Yeah, so let's see.
Or the upper part of the sacrum.
That's a good question. I always just think of it between, oh, I know where we're talking about here. So it's, I would trace the Dān Tián back.
Mm-hmm.
So go a space about like an inch below the belly button and then trace it to the back. So it would be about here. And that's the space, exactly. And that's the space between the two kidneys, the Míng Man, exactly, yeah. And right now, sometimes I'm saying general because I don't want people to feel too weighed down by anatomy, but thank you for clarifying, yes. So yeah, if you're having trouble finding that one, go an inch or so below your belly button and find it on the other side. Any other questions before we run through it again? Okay, wonderful. Okay, rubbing your hands warm, placing your hands on your Dān Tián again. And we're going to take a deep breath. And when you exhale, let the pearl drop down to the pubic bone, the middle of the pubic bone. Beautiful. And then from the pubic bone, let it drop down to the perineum, just on the very bottom of the body. And then we're going to take an inhale and bring it up to the tip of the coccyx. Beautiful. And then we're going to bring it to the door of life where we just talked with Sita about it. If you follow the Dān Tián to the back, we're going to bring it to the Míng Man. Inhale it up to the mid-back, approximately thoracic 11, the mid-back. And then we're going to go to that part of where the neck meets the upper back, the part that sticks out the most, that's C7. From there, we'll go to the lower back of the head called the jade pillow, and inhale up to the external occipital protuberance, that part that sticks out in the back of the head. Another inhale, bring it up to Da Zhui Du 20. And now we're going to allow our roller coaster to cascade down. Remember to put tongue to the roof of the mouth, and you're going to go right to the space between the nose and the upper lip. And then relaxing and allowing yourself to go to Rèn 22, or the suprasternal fossa in the middle of the neck there. Rèn 17, the space theoretically between the nipples. Rèn 12, the space between the belly button and the xiphoid process. And finally back down to the Dān Tián. Now let's play with this chi ball for a minute before we do the last cycle. Just like we've done in the past, clap your hands, rub your hands vigorously. Now we have a pearl in our Dān Tián. Go ahead and put your hands over your Dān Tián and allow that pearl to expand out to the size of a nice sized ball, but it's still within your body. So a nice chi ball right inside your umbilicus. Now we're going to play with it a little bit. We're going to take a inhale and allow that chi ball to expand outside of the body. Golden healing earth chi ball. And now we're going to condense it with the exhale. So just watch my hands if you haven't done this before. Nice breath in. Allow the chi ball to expand out of the body. And then condensing the chi ball back down with the exhale. And another deep breath. Expanding the chi ball, and now contracting and allowing the chi ball to go back deep into the Dān Tián. And now we're going to use our mind, eye, heart power, our E power, to spin that golden healing earth chi ball. In fact, rolling your eyes in a forward direction to help that chi ball spin, seeing the chi ball spinning in the Dān Tián. And then relaxing your eyes and letting the chi ball shrink back down to the size of a pearl in your Dān Tián. One more time, we'll run through the microcosmic orbit. The pearl is sitting in your Dān Tián now. And through gravity or an exhale, we allow it to go to the top of the pubic bone and then to the perineum. And from the perineum, we're going to exhale it up to the tailbone. Good. And now we're going to exhale it up all the way, if we go with a line through our Dān Tián to our Míng, the sacral lumbar area. Good. Then we're going to inhale it up to the mid-back, around where thoracic number 11 is. Inhale up again to C7, where the head and the neck and the upper back meet, the part that sticks up. Inhale again, jade pillow behind the head on the lower area, the cranial area. Inhale up again to the external occipital protuberance. Inhale up one more time to Da Zhui, do 20. Touching the tongue to the mouth, and let the pearl cascade down to between the nose and mouth. Do 24. Again, with gravity, it can drop down to the suprasternal notch, right on the lower part of the throat. Let it cascading further down to the space between the two nipples, Rèn 17. One more time to the middle between the umbilicus, the belly button, and the xiphoid process where the ribs come together. And finally back to your Dān Tián. And feel that energy in the Dān Tián. The Dān Tián is a place where we cultivate qi. That little mini spinning pearl. Let's expand it again with our e-power to a full-size ball within the body. Circulating in a forward direction, that's our battery pack of life. We're generating energy. We can generate energy with the Dān Tián, whereas the Míng is our inherited energy, so we can't really expand it, and we want to protect it. We want to preserve it. But in the front there, you have your spinning chi ball. And then allow it to shrink back down into the size of a pearl to remain there while we move along to the 6 healing sounds. Beautiful, everybody. And again, we will repeat the microcosmic orbit. The microcosmic orbit, when it circulates more efficiently, keeps the organs healthier, keeps the cerebrospinal cord healthier, keeps the brain healthier, gives us more energy, also gives us that sense of grounding and connection. So now we're gonna finish up with the 6 healing sounds that we introduced in the past. Let's see, let's start with the lung sounds. So feet shoulder width apart, sitting at the edge of your chair, hands on your lap. Remember, when you put your point from your hand on your knees, you can connect it to the point on the bottoms of the feet. So we're going to start there. Rocking in your chair a little bit, just relaxing the body. Beautiful. And with a deep breath, inhale. Turning the hands over and exhaling with this sound, letting out any sadness or grief you may feel. Full commitment exhale, release the sadness or grief. Beautiful, hands back down. And again, shaking the spine, relaxing, rocking a little bit. And a nice deep breath in. Turning the hands over and exhale with the releasing the sadness and grief. It goes to the earth to be composted into something new and good. Now we hover over the lungs. I'm going to be looking into my lungs, so my eyes will be looking down with my eyes closed, but I'll show you how it looks with my eyes open. Look right, left, into the right lung, into the left lung, right, left, right, left. Highlight and delete any sadness. Highlight and delete any grief you may find in the lung. Go ahead and highlight and delete them. Hands back to the, oh, I want to go back to the brain now. Okay, hands over both sides of the brain. Look right, left in the brain. Highlight and delete the file name sadness, the file name grief. Hands back to the lap. Nice deep breath in, sweeping them up. Exhale. Any sadness or grief. We need to release an excess before we can tonify deficiency. Now hovering over the expanse of the lungs, which go from the apex of the shoulder to the diaphragm, side to side, back to back, back to front. And we're going to hover over the lungs, and we're going to send the lungs the healing energy of courage and righteousness with a profound white light energy, surrounding the lungs with the white light energy of courage, righteousness, and integrity. Smiling to the lungs, thanking the lungs for everything they do for respiration, for exchanging carbon dioxide for oxygen, for keeping my body oxygenated in just the right manner. Thank you, lungs, for everything you do to keep me alive and well. A very, very important detox organ. Smiling to the lungs, sending the lungs that healing white light energy. Next, kidney sound. So kidneys are the organs where we sometimes have trauma or fear. So we're going to release the kidneys from that trauma or fear. So the way we do that is we use a choo sound, because that sound, C-H-O-O, releases fear from the kidneys. So we walk our feet heel, toe, heel, toe. We wrap around, squeeze down on the kidneys by securing our arms, and exhale with the choo, releasing any fear or trauma to the earth. Beautiful. And walking out heel, toe, and again, taking a breath in, walking heel, toe in, and then squeezing down on the kidneys, releasing any fear or trauma. Inhale, and then allowing the fear or trauma to be released. Now, walking the feet back out, hovering over the kidneys, looking deeply into your very own kidneys. Look right, left. Highlight and delete any trauma, highlight and delete any fear you may find in your kidneys. Highlight and delete. And then hands to both sides of the brain, look right, left into the brain. Highlight and delete the file name fear, the file name trauma. Hands back down to the lap, walking heel, toe with a deep breath. Reaching around, exhaling with the releasing fear and trauma from the kidneys to purify and cleanse them. Walking the feet back out. And now hovering over the kidneys, smiling to the kidneys, sending them a deep ocean blue light of softness, gentleness, calmness, and peace, restoring those positive energetics to the kidney, smiling to your kidney, thanking your kidney for filtering waste products, helping with nutrition and urination so that we can cleanse our body every day. The kidneys keep us alive and well. Smile deeply to both kidneys, sending your deepest gratitude to your kidneys for all they do Beautiful. And then relaxing down, maybe rocking out your spine a minute. Water, which we just did, kidneys, waters wood, and wood is the element of the liver. Connect with your liver on the right side. Sometimes in the liver, anger and frustration can get trapped. So we want to release the anger and frustration from the liver. The way we do that, hands to the lap, is to reach up, interlock the fingers, tipping to the left, so we squeeze down on the liver. Exhale with the SH sound. Releasing any anger or frustration from the liver. Beautiful. And hands back to the lap when you're ready. Rocking out the spine a minute, and then circling the hands back up, interlocking fingers, tipping to left. Exhale with the releasing the body of any anger or frustration. Hovering over the liver, looking into that large organ, which is behind the right ribs but expands beyond. Look right, left, into the liver. Highlight and delete any anger or frustration you may find. Highlight and delete any anger or frustration. Go to the brain, look at both sides of the brain, right, left. Highlight and delete the file name anger, the file name frustration. And hands back down to the lap. Now we're going to, one more time. Nice, swinging the arms back up. With the inhale, interlocking the fingers, tipping to left. Exhale with the SH. Anger and frustration released to the earth to be composted into something new and good. Beautiful. Now hovering over the liver, bringing in the generosity, kindness, and creativity restored to the liver, the natural state of the liver when it's happy. Smile to your liver. Thank your liver for everything it does to filter the blood and keep your body pure. Smile to your liver and feel your liver relax and smile back at you. Feel the liver soften with creativity and generosity and kindness. So wood can be burned, and fire is our next sound, and that is the heart. And so the heart, sometimes we have hate, haste, or impatience trapped in the heart. And so we're going to release that and restore the love, joy, happiness, appreciation to the heart. So go ahead and hover over your heart, and in fact, smile to your heart to start. And then we're going to sweep our hands up. And this time we're going to tip to the right after interlocking fingers and exhale with the HAW sound. Letting any hate or haste go down to the earth. Beautiful. Excellent job. Hands back to the lap, and you can rock your spine a moment. Take a deep breath in. Interlocking the fingers, tipping to the right. Exhale with the letting out all the hate, haste, or impatience to the earth. Beautiful job. Hovering over the heart, looking into the heart, small but powerful organ, right, left. Highlight and delete the any impatience, hate, or haste you may find in your heart. Scanning the heart everywhere, just letting all that go. Going back up to the brain, right, left. Highlight and delete the file name hate, the file name haste, the file name impatience. Beautiful. Hands back down to the lap. One more time with a nice deep breath. Inhale, sweeping the hands up, and then tipping to the right so we squeeze down on the left of the heart. Exhale with the HAW. Letting out the hate, haste, and patience to the earth. And now hovering over the heart, smiling to the heart, sending the heart its natural state of love, joy, happiness, appreciation, smiling to your heart and thanking it for beating ever since you were 8 weeks in utero, never skipping a beat, always there for you. Smile to your heart with deep appreciation and feel your heart smiling back at you. And remember, the heart can multiply lots of love, joy, happy, appreciation. So go ahead and circle around your heart and feel the love, joy, happiness, appreciation going to all the organs before we move on to the spleen. So when we burn the fire, it creates ash, and ash creates earth. So hands back down to the lap. It is said that in the spleen we store worry and overthinking. So we want to release that to the earth and open it for openness, fairness. And so we're going to do that now. Nice deep breath in. Reaching out with your hands and then pressing left of the umbilicus, right where your spleen is. Exhale with the WHO sound, releasing any worry and overthinking. Beautiful. And again, nice breath in. Exhale, releasing any worry or overthinking. Now hovering over the spleen and looking right, left into that small organ. Highlight and delete any worry or overthinking you may find in the spleen. And both hands to both sides of the head, look right, left. Highlight and delete the file name worry, the file name overthinking. Hands back down to the lap, rocking the spine for a minute. Nice deep breath in. Reaching out with an inhale. And pushing out the last of the worry and overthinking. And now hover over the spleen, restoring the fairness, openness, trust of the spleen with a golden healing earth energy. Smiling to the spleen, thanking the spleen for its amazing work in digestion and help you digest your food, helping you digest concepts. Smiling to the spleen and appreciating all the energy that goes into the digestion, transformation, transportation of food throughout the body, nutrients throughout the body. And now our sixth healing sound is not an organ in particular, it's a group of organs. It's everything in the torso, and this is called the triple warmer. So what we're going to do is we're going to, in fact, the upper burner would be the head, middle burner would be the heart, lower burner would be the below the belly button. And this is a great activity to do before you go to bed, because often it is said if the head is hot and the feet are cold, it's hard to sleep. So we want to squeeze the tube of toothpaste of the heat of the head down to the feet with the guttural sound H-E-E. So stretch out as if you're in bed. And this is the triple warmer sound. So breath in. Bringing the heat from the head to the feet. Beautiful. And bringing the cool from the feet to the head. Beautiful. And a nice breath in. Full commitment exhale, beautiful. Warming up those feet, cooling the head. Cool head, warm feet helps us sleep and relax and be calm. And now, smiling to the heart, holding the heart, and appreciating this gift of life in form, with all its challenges and beauties, enjoying the aliveness of the organs that keep us animated and keep us healthy. Smiling to all of these organs, from the heart fire, to the spleen, earth, to the metal lungs, to the water kidneys, to the wood liver, all animated with these beautiful colors, red, yellow, blue, green, and white, continuously healing and nurturing the body, and thanking them deeply for their kindness and goodness in your body. Thank you for joining us.